Okay, everybody, I think we're going to get started now. I am recording this call, so that's the reason why I've got it all muted. At the end of it, though, I'll turn the muting off so you can all hoot and holler or say whatever you feel to say. But anyway, it's wonderful to be doing this call this evening with you guys, and thank you for giving up your time. We did actually do this as a live event last night in Kelowna, and I think it went down fairly well. And the title of this call is really Show Me the Money. And you're all familiar now, at least I hope you're familiar with the marketing plan and the new team building bonus that's out there. And what I would like to suggest is that I've been in with the company for a long, long time now, as many of you know, National Marketing Director 100 Club, some 27 years with the company. And over the years, we've watched the marketing plan change and grow. We've watched how the leadership has grown, the business has grown. And through that, the company listens and they've changed what goes on and they've added things and taken things away, always with the passion, if you like, and the policy of trying to make the business better for all of us so we can all reach our dreams and aspirations and actually allow our Juice Plus business and franchise to grow and help inspire healthy living around the world, as you all know. And some of you may be aware that just in Canada, our corporate head office, they have been so wonderful to us as leaders once you reach the National Marketing Director position by taking us to a summit in December every year where we brainstorm, share information, and that's an ongoing process. But at the last summit last December, there was a lot of moves afoot to try and improve the team building bonus, which of course we've been using for the last few years, and to tweak it and make it better. And that has happened, as most of you know. And I just felt that there was an area that was not necessarily missing, but my goal here is to try and put across to you guys the connection between what we have in our marketing plan around the world and the Canadian team building bonus. And so you can just understand the philosophies and how it can actually help you. So that's my goal this evening, because I truly believe that if you understand what this is really all about, and if you understand the potential that we have in our hands for both existing distributors, but especially new distributors that come on board over the next year and beyond, once you really understand that, I think you'll all be even more excited than you are now. So that's the purpose of this call this evening, Show Me the Money. And my intention is to simplify the team building bonus. Now, having said that, my screen is not jumping forward. Here we go. There we go. Now, I'm not going to go through the conventional marketing plan in any huge detail, but I feel that it's important to use this as a basis for what the team building bonus is all about. Now, most of you have seen this staircase, and of course that hasn't changed, but it really illustrates 3 different ways that we've always been able to make money in our business. And I know that this is always underutilized, but it is yet so amazing and so wonderful. And it's certainly allowed us to, fulfill all our dreams and wishes and things like that. And it's just getting better and better. So on the staircase, what it really illustrates is a way how you can make a small part-time business, a retail business, by having a customer base and getting paid a good income for doing that. In addition to that staircase, as most of you are familiar, there's also what we call a wholesale commission, or those bonuses that are paid out at the different levels, which really I always have called a coaching fee. That's so that you can help build your franchise and duplicate yourself and get paid some income while you're doing that, while you're coaching, while you're training, while you're encouraging, while you're supporting those new distributors on your team. And that's where the wholesale commissions come in. And then finally, in the top left there, you have what we call the building of the clubs. And the whole purpose of building clubs is so that that 5% performance bonus that is the smallest part of the marketing plan almost becomes the most significant over time. So you've got your team building and your 5%, you've got your wholesaling or overrides, if you like, for building a team, and then you've got the retail profits for actually building a business. Now, you're all familiar with that. What I believe is that we needed something that would actually increase the pace at which people choose to go through this marketing plan. You see, obviously the staircase gives you positions, or what we would call titles. And the higher your title, the more you can actually earn an income by retailing and selling the product. If you build clubs or a business, the more you can earn by being club qualified. And the issue is how do we combine the 2 things together? So in this example here on the bottom left, you can see that a 3 blend of the Juice Plus fruit, vegetable, and vineyard capsules carries what we call in Canada a 235 PVC, purchase volume credit, 235 points to keep it simple. And so when you as a distributor get a customer, bearing in mind that the box may be paid for monthly, but on that box, which lasts 4 months, a new distributor earns $37 on the box, on that 3 blend. If you reach direct distributor, the second step, you earn 51. If you get to virtual franchise, you earn 70. And then obviously from sales coordinator and above, you earn $89. Nothing new there. Most of you are aware of this. The wholesaling commission or the override for coaching is if you're at the $89 position, sales coordinator or above, and you bring on a new distributor, they earn $37 for getting a customer of the 3 blend. You get the difference between the 37 and the 89. Obviously, the simple question there is, how many customers would you like to help your distributor have? Of course, that's unlimited. And how many distributors would you like to have that are actually doing the same thing? And that, of course, is unlimited in any of the 30 plus countries that we have around the world. So that's very, very exciting to see that. But what perhaps people might not realize is if we now add the Omega blend in there, which is really exciting, now it really puts front and center the retail potential for building a small part-time business and how powerful that can be. So the 4 blend now has a value of some 340 points in Canada. So as a new distributor, you earn $53 by getting a customer for the 4 blend of capsules. Pretty straightforward. Direct distributor, that now jumps to $73. As a virtual franchisee, it jumps to $100. And then a sales coordinator and above, it's a whopping $128 for every customer you have of the 4 blend. Now, obviously, we know that not everybody's going to do 4 blend, but over time, that would be the goal. And obviously, there are other products that people can use, Tower Gardens, chewables, so on and so forth. But this is just to give you an idea. So make no mistake that you can grow your business, or a distributor can grow their business by having just a customer base, a decent sized customer base of between, say, 10 or 20 or 30 customers. And look what that would earn, $128 a box. That's repeated 3 times a year. How would you feel if you had 10 customers or 20 customers or 30 customers? That gives a strong retail business that anybody would love to have as a little part-time pocket money thing on the side. Very, very powerful indeed. And that should get you excited. But the other side of it is, of course, if you're at the sales coordinator or above position and you're helping to coach and to use the wholesale commissions that are in there, look at the difference between $128 and the $53. Same principles as we've always had. It's just the margins are bigger, the incentives are bigger, the results are bigger. Everything is much more exciting, in my opinion, and that's certainly what we're starting to see. So this is something that I think was fundamental that we needed to have when we move forward with the new team building bonus, because at the end of the day, it's important to realize that the ultimate goal is to build a team. And most of you know, with this little illustration here, which again is not new, you can see there this is reflecting average earnings in the first quarter of 2010, that when you build a team, if you yourself have a qualifying business, with that 1,000 points a month, you earn 500 average a month or 6,000 a year. If you duplicate yourself and in a perfect world have 3 other people do the same thing, your income jumps to 15,000. If those 3 duplicate, you have a 12 club, you end up with 40,000. If they duplicate and get 3 each, you've got 39 qualified businesses in your organization paying you 120,000 or 10,000 a month, which most of us have seen this before, and we understand that it's a great thing and a great model and all the rest of it. But here's the reality, folks. Over the last few months, the business has definitely been growing over the last year or so. I know in our organization, we have well over nearly 3,000 new customer AROs a month. And that was in the month of January, when historically things get quieter. Now, I'm not saying that to brag. I'm trying to say that to you, that if you look at the retail profits along the bottom, nobody can say nobody's not buying the product, or nobody can say it's not possible to have a small customer base, because the facts are facts. People are getting customers and it's just working. So that one's great. As far as building a club is concerned and getting multiple clubs, well, you all know now we've got multiple 39 clubs within the organization and across Canada, multiple 50 clubs, 75 clubs, and there's several hundred clubs. I think there's 5 or 6 or so 100 clubs. Now, I can only talk for our personal business that we can actually see, because I can only really quote what I'm aware of and what I can see. But in the month of January, for example, we had over 300 qualified businesses within our personal organization. So the method, or what I'm trying to get across here, is we know the product sells because the customer base is growing, and we know that people are building qualified businesses because of the increasing numbers of qualifiers. It's pretty straightforward. It is what it is. Documentation beats conversation every time. So that's awesome. Now that's based with a good marketing plan. Now what we want to do is add the team building bonus. Now, obviously you're all aware of this, and if you go onto your virtual office under resources, you can click on team building bonus and you will get this document here that you can see in front of you. And I know you can't read the fine print there, but please understand that this team building bonus, these steps 1 through to 12, I believe is the key, is the missing link. And it's done absolutely superbly and it's wonderful. But much like when you go and sign a mortgage or something like that, you might not necessarily pay attention to the fine print. And there is fine print, which is really just the rules and regulations to make this particular team building bonus function. What my suggestion to you is that if you need to know the details and get caught up in the weeds in some case, or analyze until we're paralyzed, by all means go and study this team building bonus to the nth degree and go and study the marketing plan to the nth degree. But I think those of us that are building big businesses realize that if you overanalyze instead of just doing the do, then you tend to stifle your own growth and stifle the growth of people around you. So these documents here are just the rules, so that when people get close to the specific points, then obviously you've got a playing field to fall back on, rules to fall back on, to make sure that it's all being done correctly. So that's the purpose of that. What I want to try and do, and again, this is just purely my opinion with my logic. Some of you know I do have an aeronautical background. I tend to analyze things a little bit and tend to like to have things disciplined and organized, I suppose. But I just find it works for me, and hopefully this analogy might work for you. What I'm going to suggest is that our new team building bonus is simply like a ladder, the rungs on a ladder. And this is how I'm going to demonstrate it in a simplified way. And for those of you that know the details inside out, no, I'm not going to cover those in this particular spot. I believe we just need to keep it simple. It's about compliance. It's about the best exercise somebody will do is the exercise they will do. The best way to earn a team building bonus is by going to the next step in a way that they will actually do it. So my goal is to try and do that with you guys. So here we have our ladder, and what happens is our first goal in this team building bonus program. Now remember, the team building bonus is in addition to everything you earn on the normal staircase marketing plan, which you can build slowly, you can build quickly, you can build it in any way you want over time. But this team building bonus is in addition to that. And the reason we have this is to incentivize you to move perhaps a little bit quicker than you normally would, or to incentivize you to realize that you can achieve the very next step. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. It's real simple. So the first step is virtual franchisee. Now, with virtual franchisee, to do it and get the team building bonus, you need points, 2,500 points within a 30-day period, or if you're using mostly Tower Garden, 3,500 points with Tower Gardens, and there is a mixture thereof. And again, the fine print can deal with that. The bottom line is your goal as a new person is to get to that virtual franchisee level the quickest way. And if you do that, what happens is the benefits you get is a $300 conference ticket, $300 bonus, plus a conference ticket, plus your sponsor will earn $300 as well in team building bonus. So that's quite an incentive and is quite exciting. And absolutely anybody can do that with a little bit of encouragement. Now here in yellow, I just want to put some numbers in there just to put it in perspective. If you are using the regular 3 blend, fruit, vegetable, and vineyard, that's about 11 customer orders, 11 new customers, if you're building a business, will get you to that 2,500 point level. If you're using the 4 blend, it's 8 customers. I know the letters there might be a little bit small for you to see, but 8 if you're using the 4 blend, 11 customers if you're using the 3 blend, and that will get you that 2,500 points. That's not rocket science. That's you, maybe a couple of family members and a few friends. It's very easy to do it. Now, the reason it's in yellow is because this is what we call promotional volume. We count the value of the whole box. Later on in the team building bonus, it's based on the monthly installments because obviously the boxes are divided by 4 as most of you know. So nice and simple, virtual franchise, 2,500 points, $300 bonus, and it's very achievable. You don't have to go out and become a fruit and vegetable tycoon and have hundreds of customers. The next position, and this is the missing link for many, is to become what we call a qualified virtual franchisee, or performance bonus qualified. This, if you like, is the mortar or the cement between the bricks that holds our business together as we're building the structure. So what that means is performance bonus is where you have 1,000 points in your business in a calendar month, and you sustain that for 2 months, and then you will receive a $200 team building bonus, which is absolutely awesome. To put that in perspective, with installments being made, because this is based now on your customer making installments each month as they pay for their box over 4 months, to have a qualified business, that is 17 customers using the 3 blend, or it's 12 customers using the 4 blend. And again, in all of these examples, I know that some people aren't going to have all of those blends, and they may have complete, they may have, chewables or Tower Garden payments, but just to keep it simple, so we're sticking with 3 and 4 blend. So that is totally achievable. So our goal, as it has always been, is to get yourself a customer base. You personally have a customer base ultimately of between 12 or 17 people, or the equivalent, to give you 1,000 points on a monthly basis. And if you do that, you're on track for building a solid business. Both myself and Yvonne, we have been qualified businesses, now me for some 25 or so years, and Yvonne for some 22 years. Qualified businesses in our own rights, individually, every single month, month in, month out, 12 months a year for the last 20 plus years. So it's the solid building block of your business. So pretty straightforward. The next job, or the next step, the next rung on the ladder, is obviously to do what you did yourself, and that is to create a one club. Now, a one club is where you have a distributor on your team, and that within 12 months of you starting this program, so you've got a whole 12 months to do this, you get one person and you help them become a virtual franchisee and do exactly what you did. In other words, they get to the VF level and they qualify their business by having the 1,000 points for 12 to 17 customers, depending on the blend, just like you did. When you create your one club, you then get a $100 bonus for doing that, which is spectacular. Then the natural progression from there is to move on to what we call sales coordinator, which most of you are familiar with. It's the highest commission level on our pay plan that gives you the highest retail profit that we illustrated earlier on the regular staircase. To get to sales coordinator, that's 8,000 points, which you need to do within your first 12 months. You have to include 2 people or 2 lines that have gone to the fast track to virtual franchisee position. In other words, they've done what you have done. Now that 8,000 points, remember, can be over a period of time, because we're talking about the promotional volume of the boxes. So it's not done in 1 month. This is over a period of time. So in theory, before we get to the numbers, is your bonus for doing this, of course, is you get $500. You also would have achieved 2 of the sponsor to VF bonuses, which were $300 each. So you would have received those at least twice, because you need to have 2 VFs. And your sponsor will also get a $500 bonus. Now, the numbers, to put it in perspective, and it's in yellow because it's the total value of the box. If you're doing 3 blends, it's the equivalent of 34 customers on 3 blends. So let's just say 34 customers are on their first box. That will get you through to the sales coordinator volume. Obviously, you could have half that number of customers, and it takes them 8 months to do it, for example, because they're ordering the second box. If it's the 4 blend, then it's 24 customers. So I suggest you go for it within a 4-month period and get 24 or 34 customers within a 4-month period. Now, here's a beautiful thing. You can see there, obviously, you have to have at least 2 virtual franchise legs to have done this way. Well, if you have 2 virtual franchise legs, you know the volume that they would have had to have done, 2,500 apiece. There's 5,000 out of the 8,000 that you require. You would have done 2,500 minimum for sure when you went fast track to VF. So straight away, you can see 7,500 of the 8,000 has already been achieved. So once again, if you take it to bite-sized chunks, it's very, very achievable, 1 step at a time. So then moving on, you've reached the position of sales coordinator. What's next?
This is perhaps the missing link for many people. Lots of people get to sales coordinator because it's the maximum position of profit. But then what we want to do is sustain it, to move forward and to grow. So a POB qualified sales coordinator, much like a virtual franchisee when you qualify your VF business, a qualified sales coordinator is a sales coordinator that has 3,000 points in their open. The easy way to understand that is if you have a team of a few people, a few distributors, it's anybody that is not underneath another sales coordinator. The chances are at this point you don't have anybody else that's a sales coordinator, so everything counts towards your 3,000 points. If you have someone that's a sales coordinator a little further down, maybe the people up above them count towards you if they're not yet a sales coordinator. So very simple. So the first time as a sales coordinator that you get 3,000 points in your open, you then will receive a $200 bonus, which is absolutely wonderful. To put that in perspective, if you're using the 3 blends, for example, that means that you would have 51 customers making an installment on the 3 blend. Or if it's the 4 blend, you would have 36 customers making an installment for the 4 blend. That's what would give you 3,000 points. Now, again, for some of you that are starting your business, you might think, oh my goodness, that sounds like an awful lot. But think about this for a moment. That probably is between you and your 2 VFs. If your 2 VFs are building properly, they're going to have between 12 to 17 customers, either 3 or 4 blend, as you can see further down the ladder. So if you've got 2 people doing that, plus you're doing it, let's take the 4 blend, for example. You've got 2 VFs with 12, that's 24. You've got your 12, there's your 36. Very straightforward, very, very simple. The numbers never, never lie. So that's how you get a qualified sales coordinator business, a POB qualified sales coordinator business, and you earn your $200 bonus, which then leads you to the next step. Now, some of you will figure out that if you do this next step, it's going to take care of your POB qualified business anyway. What we want to do now is continue with the duplication. You want to add another virtual franchisee leg. You don't stop at 2 and sit there on your butt and fold your arms and go, Yahoo, I did it. You want to go and be building a 3rd line. So you build a 3rd leg to VF. So now you have 3 qualified legs. They're all doing their 1,000 points each. They all have their 12 to 17 customer installments, depending on the blend that they've got. So 3 lines in performance bonus, which you hold for a minimum of 2 months, which by building it this way will probably happen quite generically anyway. So there's 1,000 points in each line. You can see straight away 3 lines of 1,000, there's 3,000 plus your own, you're touching 4,000 anyway. You now get a massive $750 team building bonus. The moment for the first time, you have 3 separate lines in performance bonus. That is absolutely huge and is super, super exciting. Now, what I do want to say at this point, before we continue up the ladder, you know, this, as you will understand, is a 12-month process for a new distributor. If any of you are existing distributors already at a certain point up the ladder, all of these things, the next step up, will apply to you, do apply to you. So if you've been a sales coordinator for the last 2 years and you suddenly decide to build your business and have 3 PB lines for the first time ever, you've never done it before, this will apply to you. So it's absolutely wonderful. So hopefully that's all fairly clear and straightforward, but obviously the ladder goes higher. So you're now a sales coordinator. You've now got 3,000 in your open. You've got 3 performance bonus lines, which is absolutely super, and they're starting to build to help take you to the next position. So now we continue on up that ladder. So the next position on the ladder is senior sales coordinator. To get to senior sales coordinator, you need 8,000 points within a 1-month period, and you hold that for 2 months. You need to have at least 3 separate lines, which obviously the bonuses have encouraged you to build before this position. 1 of those lines now has become a sales coordinator. 2 of them have to be at the VF position, and you have to have that 3 club, which means you've got 3 distributors in your organization that are qualifying businesses. When you do that, you're going to receive a massive $1,000 bonus. Your sponsor's going to receive a $750 bonus. And don't forget, you will have earned extra VF and sales coordinator bonuses for the new people that you've brought on that have helped give you that structure. You're still going to get the sponsor bonus for those as well. But now what's going to happen is you get invited to what we call the SSC Summit, which will be in the summer, and it's starting in a year from now in 2019, so you've got lots of time to get there. And this kind of replaces the Leadership Advancement Weekend. So now you get a very special weekend specifically for new senior sales coordinators, an all expenses paid trip to somewhere very special where you get wined and dined and some excellent training from the leaders within the company in Canada. And that's going to be absolutely super. And the goal is that as you grow your business, every single senior sales coordinator that grows in your team is going to get that special treatment. Now, just to put it in perspective, to get to that position in a calendar month, if it's the 3 blend, it means you will have 136 customers within your team that are making an installment. If it's with the 4 blend, it's 94 customers within your team. Now, don't forget, by definition, you have to have a 3 club, which means that you've got 3 other people plus yourself, which of course is, hold on a minute, I've just got a little message come through. As you can see here, you would have a sales coordinator, 2 VFs, and so minimum of a 3 club, 3 people plus yourself. So if you think about it, that's 4 of you. If you divided that 94 by 4 people, the numbers are exactly the same as what they were with you being a qualified business. This isn't about you getting 94 customer installments or 136 customer installments. It's about you getting your 12 to 17 or whatever the number is and duplicating the same thing. Does that make sense? Very, very powerful stuff indeed. So very, very achievable and very worthwhile. The next step that we go to, just give me a moment here. There we go. The next step we go to is a 6 club. Now, just like with the 3 club, what you're doing is now duplicating. Maybe your 3 distributors have now got a 1 club themselves. They're doing exactly the same thing that you did. The beautiful thing here is somebody else is paying the bill, corporate. They're incentivizing your 3 clubs to go out and do a 1 club each themselves and give them a bonus for doing it. So lo and behold, you end up with a 6 club. So a 6 club is where you have held that position or have 6 qualifiers in your team as a sales coordinator or above. You can't do it as a VF, and you hold it for 2 months. So then what happens is you get a whopping $300 bonus, which is awesome. $300 bonus. Now let's just think about this for a minute. You could go out and get a 3 club and get them all to find 1 club each. There's nothing to stop you going out and finding 6 virtual franchise legs yourself. You don't have to wait. You can take responsibility of your time. If you go out and personally sign up 6 people and they all go to virtual franchisee and they all qualify your business, you've got a frontline 6 club. You'll still get the bonus as well. Very, very powerful. The next position is then qualifying national marketing director. And you can see the pattern here. By doing it this way and by having your team incentivized, by having that carrot of the bonuses, you're going to find that this is kind of almost generic and self-fulfilling. Qualifying national marketing director is where you have a $20,000 point or 20,000 points in a month and you hold that for 2 months. You must have at least 4 lines, which include 3 sales coordinator lines, and 2 of those sales coordinator lines have to be promote out bonus qualified. And again, it just means they have been following you up the ladder and doing exactly the same as what you have done. So what do you get for that? A $2,000 bonus, plus your sponsor gets a $1,500 bonus, plus of course you get the VF and the sales coordinator bonus for adding those extra VFs and sales coordinator positions. Very, very powerful indeed. And again, let's look at the volume. Now this is where it actually gets exciting, not intimidating. So if you're using the 3 blend in your team, that's 340 customers making a payment. If you're using the 4 blend, that's 235 customers making a payment. Now again, this is perfect. We all know we can have a mix and match, and by this time you certainly will have, but you can see how achievable that can be. And once again, when you break down numbers, that looks like a huge amount of customers, but hang on a minute, isn't that the purpose of this? To inspire healthy living around the world and have a huge customer base that is generating real income, real solid income, it's not just about the bonuses that come and go, the one-time bonuses. This is about the bonuses allow you to pursue building a solid business. And in this case, you can see 235 or 340 customers. But again, remember, you've got at least 3 sales coordinator legs and at least 1 virtual franchise leg. That means there's 5 of you. Divide that number by 5. You may have more distributors, but the minimum is 5. Then you'll realize that it is totally, totally achievable. In fact, the reality is, of course, your sales coordinators have to have 2 each. So by definition, your 3 sales coordinators have got another 6 people under them. So that's 8 people, plus your VF leg is 9. That's 9 people plus yourself is 10. So now you divide that up. That's approximately 23 customers of 4 blend or 34 customers each of 3 blend. Totally, totally achievable. Which then leads us to 12 Club. And of course, it goes without saying, everybody wants to be a qualified business because they got a bonus. Everybody wants to have a 1 Club because they got a bonus. Everybody wants to create a 3 Club because they got a bonus. So it doesn't take rocket science to figure out that sooner or later, you're going to have a 12 Club by duplicating with your team. If you're a little impatient, go out and sign up 12 virtual franchise legs and create them and go wide. We've always said that if you go wide, that brings you income. Depth brings you security. The team building bonus is going to encourage both. So you get to 12 Club, 12 qualifying businesses, and hold it for 2 months. You then get a whopping $1,200 for achieving that. Absolutely unbelievable. And then, of course, that leads you on to the next rung of National Marketing Director. By now, it's just a matter of time. It's a matter of people just adding a few more qualifiers, getting the bonuses, doing all those wonderful things, and bearing in mind that massive retail profit that's now available. We've already seen that. It's just a matter of time. Just let it happen. So what you need is 33,000 points, which you hold for 3 months. Now, for people who perhaps have been building to this position in the past, they might think, oh, wow, the goalposts have moved. It's for 3 months. Well, first of all, let's just realize this is a 12-month process. So if you're already halfway through it and you're real close to the NMD position now, we're not going to move the goalposts on you. Go for what you normally have done, the 33,000 in the month, and let's just see how it rolls out, okay? This is about getting your team building bonus. So obviously you're eventually going to have to hold it for 3 months, otherwise you won't get the bonus. But 33,000, you have to have 5 sales coordinator legs. 3 of those legs must be in promote out bonus. Now, just like we've gone through these steps, 1 step at a time, in order for that to happen, they're earning bonuses along the way. They are incentivized to do it. It's not like you're going to a sales coordinator and say, come on, I need you to have 3,000 in your open so I can get to National Marketing Director. No, it's about you saying, come on, let's get you 3,000 in your open so that you can get the bonus for reaching a qualified sales coordinator position. You can get the bonus for becoming a sales coordinator. You can get the bonus for becoming a 3 Club or a 6 Club or whatever it happens to be. It's all about the incentives. And I mean, really, folks, you know, both myself and Yvonne have been national marketing directors for a long, long time. I've been in NMD for 17 years. We never had any of this bonus type stuff to incentivize to get there. As we were building our leadership positions, we didn't have any of these bonuses to incentivize people to get there. You've now got it handed on a plate, as I'm going to demonstrate in just a moment. So what do you get for reaching National Marketing Director now? Well, first of all, you get $3,000 in a bonus. And of course, you get the extra bonus for creating new sales coordinators. And now, in conjunction with when you reach QNMD, we now have a new summit. It's called the QNMD Summit, which will be immediately preceding an NMD Summit, which will take place later in the year, every year. The first one's going to be at the beginning of December this year. Once again in Canada, in a beautiful location, all expenses paid trip, where the new QNMDs get to go to this summit, and they will be taught and trained by some of the top leaders in our company, and obviously corporate, and they get to learn what to do and how to grow their businesses further to take them on to NMD. And that will be hosted by the National Marketing Directors who will be at that same summit. And then those NMDs stay for a few additional days and continue on with their NMD Summit like we've traditionally done for the last 6, 7, or maybe even longer years. So very, very powerful, very, very exciting. The next position on the, oh, sorry, my mistake. This is the bit that's really exciting. And that is, what does it take customer-wise to reach National Marketing Director? Well, 33,000 in the month If it's the 3 blend, that's approximately 562 customer installments. If it's the 4 blend, it's approximately 388 customer installments. Now, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to work out that that's a good, solid business. That's a good income where not only are you earning good money on your 5% and whatever the overrides are that you're entitled to in the conventional marketing plan, but it also means that your distributors in your team have got real income, real business that is continuous month in, month out. At the end of the day, what we want is solid and stable checks which maintain themselves, which then gives you the freedom of time and money to be able to go out and create new business. And let's be sensible. For those of you that are new here, just realize this is a good thing. For those of you who've been around for a while, we all know the biggest thing in our business is attending the big events, the big rock events. And we all know that that will grow anybody's business. We also know that the biggest hindrance to people going to the big rock events is they say they don't have the time or they don't have the money. Well, guys, the whole point of this marketing plan, the whole point of this team building business is to give you the opportunity to invest in yourselves, earn while you learn, so that you can afford to go to the next step of events, the next level to grow your business so you can continue to climb up the ladder. So going back to the ladder, the goal after National Marketing Director, of course, is 24 Club. Now, what can happen is somebody who hits 24 Club might then become a National Marketing Director or vice versa. The two tend to go hand in hand with a solid business. But if you reach 24 Club, that's 24 qualifiers that have all got 1,000 points in their business, and you hold that for 2 months, you now get a whopping $2,400 team building bonus. That is absolutely huge, and it's super, super exciting. And really, now is the part where I get super excited, is because if you realize that this team building bonus is to incentivize you to just take the next step, not to overanalyze the marketing plan, not to look at all the fine print, just to know what it is that you've got to do next. And if you do that, these bonuses will fall into place for yourself and for your team. So the question has to be, where are you now on that ladder? What is the next rung above you on that ladder? If you're a qualified virtual franchise, the next rung on the ladder for you is to become a One Club. Well, how do you do that? You help somebody become a virtual franchisee and become a qualified business. So where are the people on your team? What is the next rung on their ladder? Very easy to break down and assess. It's very, very simple. Oh, Fred, you're at that rung. Do you want to go to the next rung? Yes or no? And if they don't, find someone else who does. How many dollars actually does it take to excite you? What is it that's going to engage you so we can decide, okay, what's the next rung on the ladder? Is that going to give you the team building bonus that's going to excite you? If by getting to that next rung on the ladder, is it going to increase your customer base, which in turn the retail profits are going to give you more money in your pocket, which then means that you can afford to go to the next event. All right, I'm going to touch on that in just a moment. Use the regular pay plan to earn that money. Use the team building bonus, this new team building bonus, to help promote your team, partially by leading by example, which is going to help them move forward and promotes them to do the same thing. And also because it means they have the carrot in front of them. It's for their benefit to move up the plan. It's for their benefit to move up the staircase. Very, very simple and very, very exciting. But something I want to touch on there, we talk about the big events coming up. You know, the company invests a lot of money in some of these huge events. And, you know, conferences subsidized. Make no mistakes. Do you think your $100 pays for that conference? Of course it doesn't. Do you think the money you pay towards Banff Beavertails completely pays for the running of that Beavertail Bootcamp? Of course it doesn't. It might be about 60% of the cost. Somebody else is funding the other 40%. And yet people will make a decision 1, 2, or 3 months away that they won't spend the $300 to change their life or build their business. You can earn that $300 by putting on a new customer if you're at the sales coordinator level. You can earn that $300 by probably moving up to any of the next rungs on the ladder. You just need to decide. But what I'd like to do here is really just almost wrap up now with, you know, the sky is the limit. This ladder can take you wherever you want to go. And if you have to put it down, the regular marketing plan staircase will allow you to build slowly, pick it up, put it down, pick it up, put it down. but it's much more exciting to build it quickly. It's much more exciting to get bonuses along the way. And we all heard about how in Europe, especially in the UK, where they had these massive bonuses, which certainly acted as an incentive. It acted as an incentive, in my opinion, to create positions. What this team building bonus does is not only give an incentive, a cash incentive to reach those positions, but it gives you a cash incentive to reach those positions with a solid business, with a solid customer base that brings residual income that keeps everybody excited so they don't want to stop. And that becomes contagious. That's when your existing customers say, I want to do what you're doing. That's when the people who you ran it past and just did the income producing activity of sharing the product with people anytime, any place, anywhere, sharing the business with anybody, anytime, any place, anywhere. And, only a few will say yes. But by using this team building bonus and they see your enthusiasm 1 month, 6 months, 1 year later, they go, whoa, show me that again. I had a headache the first time you told me. Now I see you guys are excited. So the team building bonus is absolutely huge. Now, for those of you who still think, okay, yeah, I understand the team building bonus. That's great. Yeah. Maybe you've been around a little while. Maybe you're at the sales coordinator level. Maybe you're at the senior sales coordinator level, QNMD level, maybe even an NMD. And you think, well, how does this affect me other than my new people? And then you go into management mode. Well, this is really exciting. If you build this correctly, and I know a few other people have stabbed at the numbers, but I've gone into it in great detail. If somebody starts from the beginning and goes right the way through, all the way up the rungs in the ladder in that 12-month period, which people have done, it's a whopping $16,500 in team building business to the individual who chooses to do that. That is massive. That's on par with anything that happened in Europe as far as I'm concerned. Another one, if you're a sales coordinator now and you create 5 people or 5 frontline sales coordinators now, whether they're at a DD or whatever, you decide to do that, 5 new ones. It doesn't matter if you've got 3 already, you find 5 new ones. You yourself will get $4,000 in team building bonus, not to mention the increase in your income because of the volume that would create. How about this one? If you, at whatever level you're at now, doesn't really matter because you would be a sales coordinator and above if you were doing this. If you create 5 national marketing director lines, that means you've kissed 20 frogs to get 5 princes or princesses, however you want to look at it. If you create 5 national marketing directors line who decide to build this because they want the $16,500 bonuses for themselves, plus all the other stuff, that's a whopping $15,000 to you. Now, I can assure you there will be people out there, and I hope there is, I hope they're in your team, that are new today, and they decide to do this to earn the $16,000 for themselves. And in the process of doing that, over the subsequent years, because this isn't just a short bonus thing to last a few months, this is going on. So over subsequent years, that person who's earned that $16,000 decides to build 5 NMD lines so that they can earn $15,000 for themselves. That's over $30,000 that new person is making the decision to do. Now, I don't know about you, but in our team alone, there's 20 of us that have reached National Marketing Director, and we've done that without having these kinds of bonuses. So we already know that the customer base is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So there's real customer business there, and it's really growing. The documentation beats conversation. We know that people are building clubs, multiple 100 clubs. Documentation beats conversation. We know that people have taken advantage of the previous team building bonus, even though it's not a fraction of what this one is. So we know that that works and people take advantage of it. Documentation beats conversation. So I know that there's going to be some people out there somewhere, hopefully maybe new dealers looking at the business through your eyes, that are suddenly going to go for this in whatever capacity they choose to. That to me is incredibly, incredibly exciting. Don't look a gift horse in the mouth is an old saying that I was once taught many, many years ago. I was also taught in this business, it's not about you. It's not about yourself. It's about encouraging other people to do what you see or to believe in what you believe in and to be excited about what you're excited about. This is an incredible, incredible opportunity. And talking about opportunities, Banff Beavertail Bootcamp. We made the effort to make this bigger this year, and I just want to touch on something here, so hopefully some of you won't tune out because this is so, so important, really, I believe. is I mentioned earlier before that some of these big events are subsidized. It might cost you $200 and something, which is predominantly food for the boot camp. But the company, think what it costs to bring in these speakers. Think what it costs for their flights, for their accommodation, for their time away from their families. Forget about the knowledge that they can bring to you. Think about the investment that the company has in you. It's the, you know, most people, they go to college and come out with an overdraft of a huge amount of debt, which they then go, hopefully, with a career that will earn them more than $100,000 a year to pay off that debt, and hopefully one day have a successful career and successful life with freedom of time and money. Who knows how that story works out? But here you invest a bit of time, you invest a bit of money, which you can go and earn prior to even going. It's incredible. So, you know, you're going to learn from the best. We all know Ron Watkins, the coach. Jan Roberto, a doctor, she is going to be doing, obviously, the Prevention Plus tours in Edmonton, then Calgary. Amazing, amazing lady. Luke Wren is actually flying in from Fiji, and as some of you know, works with Tony Robbins. Talk about motivation. I've listened to this guy for quite a few years, but I did my first Tony Robbins event over 20 years ago. So I know that Luke is going to deliver. I know that you're going to fly out of Banff without an airplane, without a car or anything. Shelley McKay, who's there, some of you may or may not know her. She started the business quite a few years ago and was sales coordinator for nearly 7 years. And then made a decision a couple of years ago just to get it done. I think it was 2014. And within 2 years went from sales coordinator to 100 Club national marketing director with a couple of NMDs in her business. Boy, is she going to get some serious motivation going here. Tim Blank, first time to Canada, you know, the inventor and creator of the Tower Garden is going to be there. And that in itself is going to be worth its ticket price. And then you're going to hear from Katie Ravey. Katie Wren, now, as you might know, was one of those individuals who just took advantage at the bottom of that staircase, just had a feeling, used the tools at her fingertips, and just had that passion to actually grow a business. And of course, now is living in Siesta Key in Florida, living the life of her dreams, and of course, a new mum with a 3 or 4 year old. So it is going to be the most incredible event. We do have spaces still available because we made it bigger than ever. And if nothing else, who doesn't want to come for the party? And this year it is a silver party. So I've done enough to promote the Beavertails, but hopefully everything I've shared with you will resonate, and hopefully you will choose to take this staircase as it is, now the ladder, and actually just go one bite at a time. And always remember, if you've been in the business a little while and you're at the QNMD level or senior sales coordinator level, it's very difficult to reach down to the person at the bottom of the ladder and help pull them up if you don't have the rungs of the ladder underneath you strong. So if you're a sales coordinator and you're not a POB sales coordinator, or you're not a qualified business, you need to focus on putting those rungs back in place so that you can go up and down that ladder and pull people up the ladder as and when you want to. So with that, I am just going to stop the recording, and there we go.